The best way to have a lush green lawn is with regular watering and mowing. But if your lawn has suffered from a few seasons of neglect, there might be a few things you need to do to give your grass a head start at the beginning of the growing season. Now this yard looks pretty good from a distance, but when you look closer, it's actually about 50% weeds. So here are 5 steps to give you healthy grass this summer. Before you add or change anything to your soil, you want to make sure your soil's in good condition because you can't grow good grass on bad soil. So there's a couple ways you can do that. You can go to the home center and there's a couple options there like this electronic test meter. Or what I did was collect some dirt from the yard and send it off to a local test lab. You can check with your county agricultural agent to see if they do testing in your area. And it told me exactly what I need to add to the yard. But before you add anything to your soil, you're going to want to aerate. That's going to create holes in your yard that are going to allow any nutrients you add to get to the root of your grass. If you have sprinkler heads, shallow irrigation lines, or buried utilities in your yard, be sure to mark those areas off before getting started. If you're not careful, this thing could pull up a lot more than just soil. This motorized plug aerator comes equipped with these hollow metal cylinders that quickly remove lots and lots of soil cores from the lawn. And those soil cores can look pretty unsettling. Okay, this is pretty gross. It looks like dog poo all over the yard. But if your soil isn't too wet, it'll just break up over a few days and you won't even see it pretty soon. Whew. The growing season is the best time for aerating when grass can heal and quickly fill in any of the spaces now open from the plug removal. This is also the best time to add fertilizer. So this is where your soil test can really come in handy because it can clue you into exactly what amendments you need to add to your yard. I'm using a fertilizer recommended by my soil test results. Make sure your fertilizer matches the values from yours. Be careful when spreading fertilizer. Slightly overlap the applied areas. Adding too much fertilizer, particularly nitrogen, can do more harm than good and actually burn up your grass. Now, if you have any low spots in your yard like this, it's really easy to fill them up with dirt. Your grass blades will grow up through them. It'll make your lawn nice and level and make it so much easier to mow. Step 4 is making sure your grass is adequately watered, which is something I can get pretty obsessive about. Healthy grass has a deep root system, and to obtain that, you want to do less frequent but deep waterings. Determine how much water your grass is getting per cycle by using a rain gauge. Place a couple in 2 different locations within range of your sprinkler. After 15 minutes, read each gauge. The average from both containers will tell you how much water you're getting. Then you'll know how long to run your sprinkler to get the recommended 1 inch per week. Okay, the last step to getting a healthy lawn is regular mowing. I always recommend mowing once a week. I know that sounds like a lot, but it really does make a difference, and that way you're only cutting off about 1/3 of your grass blade at a time. But the job can be so much easier if you have quality machinery. The mower that I'm using here is self-propelled, so it's so much less of a chore to mow your grass on a regular basis. Always check your mower's height. Scalping can do irreparable damage to your grass. Also check the oil level before each mowing. This mower doesn't require regular oil changes. You just have to add oil when necessary. That's awesome because honestly, the last thing you want to worry about at the end of the season is mower maintenance. There are 2 ways to dispose of grass clippings from your mower: mulching or bagging. I would only really recommend bagging if you need the grass for composting or if your lawn shows signs of disease. You definitely don't want to spread that around. But I almost always mulch my grass. It recycles the nutrients back into the soil, giving you a healthier, fuller lawn. Now, all the little things we did here aren't much on their own, but they will add up to make a big difference in your lawn. Don't expect results overnight, but give it a few weeks and you'll be the envy of the neighborhood. I've got so many projects to share with you, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next episode.